you guys, how y'all doing? My name is Tamika. This is my channel, Tamika Uploaded. I have a headache that just won't quit, and I took some medicine, so hopefully this video won't sound too downery. Knowing me, like, my personality is really big, so hopefully that won't happen. But anyway, I wanted so much to do my October wrap-up. I was able to get in 11 books this month, and I'm really proud of myself because it's definitely bigger than last month. And not to say that there's like some race to read as many books as possible, but that means I actually did get time to read and found time to read, and that means a lot to me because I do enjoy reading. So this month I read the entire Lux series, which is 5 books. It's a 5-book series, and the first one was Obsidian, which I'm gonna, put a picture in. You're back? Awesome. So, I read Obsidian. I really enjoyed it. Jennifer Armentrout is absolutely amazing. Just the way she writes and her dialogue and her banter is absolutely adorable. And there's just something about her being able to grab me in the first sentence is what I'm always looking for when I read books. That's the reason why certain books is like, oh, this book is amazing, but you got to get into it. Like, I can't get past that get into it part. I've yet to read 50 Shades of Grey, y'all. I've been on chapter 3 for forever. I've seen the movie, though, and I probably will no longer read the book. But I really need things that'll catch me, and I can say the Lux series is a definitely series. If you're looking for, like, romance, and you're looking for action, suspense, and all kinds of crazy, and you want to get the feels, I would suggest you to read the Lux series. First one's Obsidian. The next one is Onyx, which is, of course, a continuation. And this book was good. Like, she upped her game, I think, from Obsidian to Onyx. She upped her game. It was really good. I enjoyed it. And we got introduced to some new characters, and that's what I really enjoyed. The next book is Opal. I loved Opal. Opal was really good. Opal changed the game. Like, she stepped it up again. Jennifer Armentrout, she stepped it up again. More action. More answers are, more questions are answered. Just crazy nonsense is going on in this book. You hear me? Like, you're just sitting here like, Jennifer, where are you getting this from? Where do you come from? Are you an alien, Jennifer? Are you telling a story? The next book in that series is Origin. Origin was my least favorite of books. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, meh, about Origin. However, it was good, but it wasn't as good as the previous book, and it's definitely not as good as the book that's gonna be after it. But it was good. I mean, the best part was, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there was a part that we were all waiting for. There were some things that we were just like, yes! Yes! We were looking for all that, and she gave it to us. But it was like, once you had that, you're just like, and maybe that's the reason why the rest of the book felt lackluster. But it was good. It was a good book. Like, you should definitely read it clearly because you need to get them feels. And then in Opposition, Opposition is where shit happens. Everything that they've been trying to prevent the entire series goes down, and it's bad. But the things that these people do during this time is absolutely astonishing, and I would say that you would be surprised by the ending. I was surprised by the ending. I felt a little meh about certain things, but then, there was a point where she was like, well, I'm only blank, and I'm just like, yeah, you're right, it's true. That is my review of the Lux series. As a whole, I give it 5 out of 5, as a whole. Like, I just do. If I want to be technical, it'd probably be like 4.75 out of 5. But let's go ahead and round it up. It's 5 out of 5. The next series that I read was, and I actually have these, is the Saga graphic novels. Y'all, Kate-tastic. I'm telling you, I watch more than Kate-tastic. Can I get that out there? I feel like I'm always mentioning her. But this chick was swooning over this. I was just like, I read the next one and it was amazing. Can I tell you how much I love this series? And I was like, okay. But she said the one thing that she was like, and I mean, it's a little bit, you know, I was like, oh, shoot. You had me at hello. So I went to the Barnes and Nobles, and I have a friend who works out there. And she was like, what are you getting this time, Tamika? And I was like, I don't know, it sounded good. And she opened up, she's like, oh! She was like, did you see? I was like, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I was like, and so when I got home, I sped read this volume 1. And I looked and see what time Barnes & Noble was going to be open, just so that when they opened, I could purchase the second book. And then I participated in Dewey's 24-hour readathon, where I ended up getting the next 2. And that was actually part of what I read for Dewey's 24-hour readathon. And actually, to go on to that, the Saga, I'm going to just tell y'all 5 out of 5. It's always 5 out of 5. Yeah, one book's probably better than the other, but meh. As a whole, you should be reading Saga. You don't read, you read this. You do read, you should be reading this. Why aren't you reading this? Is it because you don't know? Now you can't say you didn't know because I just told you. I just told you. Read it. Enough said. I'm not even gonna, I feel like telling you what it's about is enough of a spoiler. I mean, a little. You feel what I'm saying? I can't tell you what it's about. I just can't do that. You can look up some synopsises if you want to, or you can just pick up the first one, like I did, knowing little or nothing, coming back on this video and saying thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Next, also in Dewey's 24-hour readathon, I took the time to read Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, the graphic novel. As you can see, I do not actually have a physical copy because I got that at the library and I've already returned it because, oh, you know, make sure other people can read it too. I enjoyed it. It has a lot of hype behind it, like a lot of hype. And I do realize that graphic novel is going to be a little bit different than clearly the book's going to have more detail. But I feel like I got the overall feel of probably what happened in the book, I'm pretty sure. But I thought it would be a little bit more action-packed. Just a little bit more action-packed. It was very, like, reminiscent, like, yeah. I guess it was more world building in this one and maybe getting to know the characters. But, it wasn't my favorite thing I've ever read. However, I do want to go on to read, I think it's Hollow City. I'm going to read the book. I think there's a graphic novel going to come out for that one too, but I'm not going to read that. I'm going to read the book. And now that the world has been built for me and I have a visualization, things in my head, and I can enter the world as I please, I am going to read Hollow City. Let me know how y'all feel about it, because I was talking to this other girl and she was like, meh, about it too. And so, I mean, if you're in love with it and you're telling me, yo, go read that second book, boom, I'll do it. I promise you, I'll do it. I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, the graphic novel. I also read a manga. I read Death Note. I read volume 5. It was good. I mean, I've already seen the anime. I've already watched the movie. And I don't know what happened. I was buying the mangas, but I wasn't reading all of them. So I said, I really am going to go read these mangas. I already read 1 through 4, so I'm going to start at 5 and then go on. and it's good. Like, do y'all watch anime? Are y'all into mangas? Y'all part of that life? Because definitely one of the smartest things I've ever read. It is so smart. It's like, you ever see something where it's like some evil genius and they get away with this stuff and do all kinds of stuff? Like, and you're like, how did you think of this? Should we be afraid of you? Are you secretly a villain? I mean, I do think that about authors all the time. All the time. The last book I read this month was Alive. I did things to get this book that I'm ashamed of. I'm just joking. What I did was I went to the store and I felt like it was too much. Because I was like, what do you mean? And then they were like, oh yeah, we're not even selling it anymore. I'm like, what? And then I got this coupon. I was like, yes, coupon. So I was all ready to get it. And then I saw like the online price for Barnes & Noble's versus like in-store price. And I was like, so I ordered it, right? But I have a horrible place to order things. My mail could go anywhere if I order it. So I was stalking my mail and was like, saw the mailman up the street. I'm at my lunch break waiting. I'm like, this is the slowest mailman of all time. So I end up asking a favor from the property manager, and she ended up holding the book for me until I could get to it. And then a small child put water on my package, and I was like, please don't let this book be ruined. Please don't let this book be ruined. It was fine. It was fine. But yeah, then I finally got to read it. After I read it, I want to act out my reaction throughout the book. Oh, wait. What? She did. Okay. Okay. That is my reenactment to how I felt about the book. It was good. Like, there was moments clearly where I was just like, yada, yada, yada. They were frustrated at that time, and they wanted you to also feel frustrated because I was getting very flustered. And so I felt them when finally things started going right, then wrong again, then right again, then wrong again. Then it was like, I'm gonna make my right. And that's how the book ended. And there's gonna be 2 more parts, and I've already announced that next year he's gonna have the book out. I think he said April, but don't quote me on that. Do not quote me on that. But I will continue on with the series. I am interested to see what happens. I really am. And the book is by, didn't tell y'all, Scott Siegler. So that is everything that I have read in the month of October. And I'll let y'all know what my goal is. This time is coming up. What my goal is for the month of November. Do you remember? It's the way to December. Never was a cloudy day. I'm like, oh, maybe you remember.